Hi Noomer, I'm Coach Meredith, and this is a 20-minute gentle yoga class. It's suitable for all levels of fitness and experience, including beginners. I'll offer modifications, but remember that you are the expert in your body, so always tune in and do what is best for you. All these poses are meant to be done pain-free and to feel good, so make adjustments if necessary. Before we get started, you'll need a small pillow or folded blanket to rest your head on later in class. All of these poses will be done on the floor. If the floor is not accessible to you, you can also do them on a firm mattress. Let's go ahead and settle down onto the floor, lying on your backs. You can keep your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, about hip distance apart. Take a moment first just to close your eyes and just tune into your body. What does your body want you to know right now? Take note of any sensations that you feel anywhere in your body, any areas of tension. And just notice. Notice how your breath feels and where you feel it in your body. Make any little adjustments you need to make to settle in. And when you're ready, open your eyes, just gaze at the ceiling. And we're going to create some cues for spinal stability. So let's take the back of the neck long, the chin is slightly tucked, the chest is wide, and the lower ribs are working down towards the hips. There should be a slight curve in your low back, so it's neither arching way up toward the ceiling or flattened into the floor. Just a little bit of space between your low back and the mat or whatever surface you're on. We want to try and maintain those cues as we go through these exercises, and I'll remind you from time to time as well. So let's just start by inhaling, and as we inhale, if you like, you can even place your hands on your belly. As you inhale, allow the breath to fill up the belly and inflate the belly and the ribs, and then settle back in on the exhale. So inhale, belly inflates, exhale, belly comes back in towards the spine. Now the lower ribs are also inflating on the inhalation, but just work with wherever you're at right now. You don't need to force it. Just bring your awareness there and see if you can start to get the breath down into the belly and ribs and relax the chest and shoulders. And now with your next inhale, we're going to raise the hips up off the ground and the arms come overhead. And then as you exhale, everything comes back down. Inhale and lift. And exhale, come back to the floor. I'm going to try and keep that back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. And just move at the pace of your breath, but take your time, don't rush it. Particularly that exhale as you come back down, just see if you can slow that down. And then settle back into the ground. And then notice like those hip creases in the front of your hips. You can even place your hands there if you like. You might need to bring your heels a little bit closer to your body. And the feet are about hip width apart and they're parallel. Or as parallel, as you can get them. And on your next inhale, you're going to press into the feet and lift the hips up, opening up that hip crease. So you're opening up the front of the hips and you're feeling the back body engage. Take a breath or two there, and then on your next exhale, lower back down. So we're going to do that again. Inhale, press into the floor, open up the front of the hips, press those heels into the ground. You might even want to drag them towards your body without moving them, but just that engagement of engaging the glutes, engaging the hamstrings. If you've been sitting all day, these are some muscles that maybe haven't gotten as much work. And now we're going to wake them up. And back down to the ground. And let's take the feet a little bit wider now. If you're using a yoga mat, you can take them about mat width apart. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. You can do this right on a rug or the floor. And we're just going to start to drop the knees from side to side. Just go again at a pace that feels right to you. And just go within your range of motion. You don't have to force them here. If you want, you can even bring the arms up overhead and add in a nice stretch. So as your knees drop over to the right, left arm maybe gets a little bit more of a stretch so that your whole body is expanding here. And you're waking up the hips. You still want to keep those ribs down as best you can. And then back to center. Let's bring the arms down. You can straighten your legs. Again, keep them a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And let's just wake up the feet here. So you can flex your feet so the toes are pointing up towards your face. You can point the toes away. You could also circle the feet and ankles. And as you do that, feel that energy coming all the way up through the legs. And let's circle the other direction. So just inviting more movement into the body. The body loves movement, especially you have some variety in the movement. And then you can even bring the soles of the feet towards each other and away. So just back and forth, almost like little windshield wipers here too, but they're coming in and then they're going out. And now, shake the legs out a little bit, actually, and then let them settle. And let's take the thighs in towards each other and then rotate them out. So rotating in and rotating out. Now you'll see that your feet are moving in and out, but really the movement is initiating up here in the hips. So the whole thigh bone is rotating in and out. We're just waking up those hip joints again. Simple move, but just really nice for the body. Remember, it doesn't have to hurt to work. And then come to rest. And from here, we're going to roll over onto our bellies. We're going to come into what we call crocodile breathing. So you can actually flatten the toes out, and we're going to interlace the fingers here so the pinky sides are down, and just create a little space to rest your forehead on your hands. Keep your eyes open, and then bring your shoulders back away from your ears. Elbows are wide, pressing into the mat or the ground. Chest is wide. The lower ribs are still working towards the hips. So don't let them get all squishy and soft. Keep them active, keep the core engaged, and you're pressing the pubic bone down into the floor as well. You may want to also keep the toes pressing down if you just want to keep that back body a little bit more engaged here. And we're going to take a nice inhale here, and now we're going to think about expanding not just the belly and the ribs, but all the wrapping around to the back sides of the waist. Remember, keep those shoulders working away from the ears.
And see if you can inhale through the nose, expand the back of the waist, and then a slow, controlled exhale, either through the nose or through the mouth, but controlled. And do that a couple times. Think about letting the air out of a tire slowly. We're creating stability for the spine and core strength that's going to transfer out through our arms and legs. Now, keeping all those cues in mind and keeping that stable spine, we're going to come up onto the forearms here. So the forearms are wider than your shoulders, and your elbow's going to about line up to the middle of your ear. Press the hands down and then energetically drag them towards your hips. So this is an active pose. I'm actively engaging my body with this. We're going to inhale and expand again. Again, shoulders are working away from the ears. And then you could try to raise the right hand off the ground. Inhale, and then come back down. So let's try that again. And this time you could raise just the hand or you could raise the whole forearm off the ground. But you want to be able to keep the pelvis and the hips stable. So let's try this. Pressing into the ground with your hands, with the elbows, keeping them wide. Inhale, expand. Exhale, raise that hand up. Inhale again, bring the hand down. And exhale. Now for the next inhale, we're going to try that with the other side. So go ahead and get ready. Neck long, chin tucked, chest wide. Shoulders are away from the ears, pubic bone pressing down, and the lower ribs are engaged towards the hips. Inhale, expand. Raise the left hand off the ground and exhale. Inhale, come back down. And then let's come down to rest. Back into crocodile, or you could stack the hands. So that is just strengthening all of the little stabilizing muscles in the low back. And you probably felt the whole back body engaged there. Now we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. You can temporarily rest your forehead on the ground if you like. As you think about neck long, chin tucked, chest wide, shoulders away from the ears, ribs working down to the hips. Pubic bone is pressing down into the mat. And we're going to inhale here. And then we're going to press up. But we're keeping pretty light on the hands. I'm not using my arms here. I'm using my whole back body to engage. You can press the toes down if you like. Let's inhale again and then come on down. And take a couple breaths. We're going to do one more, only this time we're going to let our hands hover. So back in position. We're going to inhale first, create that core strength. And then we're going to raise the back body off the ground. Press those toes in, keep the core engaged. Exhale here. Inhale again. And come back down and rest. When you're ready, we're going to come onto our sides. This is where you may want, sorry, my hair is everywhere. This is where you may want a pillow under your head because you'll be lying on your side. You want to keep your neck in a comfortable position. You're going to stack the knees one on top of the other. And there's about a 90-degree angle between your trunk and your thighs. About 90 degrees with the lower legs too. Doesn't have to be exact. I'm just going to stack one hand on top of the other. And let's just start with a little opening twist and coming back. So we're just flowing here from a spinal twist back to our starting position. It's nice and easy. Still keeping back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, still keeping the ribs working down towards the hips. Tuning into your body. How's it feeling right now? What is your body telling you right now? What does it want you to know? Stack the hands again. And now we're going to do some shoulder spirals. We're going to slide that first hand, the top hand forward, reaching away from your body the whole time. You're going to reach up overhead and then around the back, and then down to your hips. Your trunk is following along with the arm and shoulder movement. Just going at a pace that feels really good to you. That feels relaxing but invites movement. Inhaling, expanding the belly and ribs, and a slow, controlled exhale. That nice long exhale invites relaxation. And then pause again in the spinal twist, and we'll take a breath or two here. I'm going to make our way now onto the other side. Do the same thing on this side. So resting your head on the pillow. Hips and legs are about 90 degrees here. So we're just going to stack the hands one on top of the other. Slide that top hand past the bottom hand, reaching away from you. Reaching up and overhead. Spiraling around. The chest and the rib cage will follow your arm movement. And circling at a pace that feels right to you, keeping that neck long, keeping those ribs down. Creating stability for your spine. And then let's pause again here in this twist. And make our way onto our backs. Now you can leave your pillow there if you like. You can move it. Whatever allows you to keep that neck long, chin tucked in a comfortable position. And we're just going to take a few minutes of a relaxation pose, allowing our bodies to integrate everything that we just did. Now, you could do your legs straight, you could do your legs bent, whatever's more comfortable for you. You could let your knees fall in towards each other and rest there. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just tune into your breathing. Notice how that belly rises and falls with each breath. Take a moment here and just check in with your body again. Notice any sensations. You don't need to tell yourself a story about them or try to make meaning, just notice. Notice your breath and how that feels now. Can you let it get a little bit slower? The exhale a little bit longer without forcing it, but allowing it to unfold. Now you're free to stay here in this relaxation pose for as long as you'd like. In fact, you could also pair it with one of the meditation classes if you like as well. But when you're ready, just start to bring some gentle movement into your body. In whatever way feels good.
Again, tuning in to what your body is trying to tell you now. What is it that your body wants you to know? Ask yourself that. Ask it often. Deepen your connection with your inner wisdom, your intuition. We all have it. We all can develop it. Thank yourself for taking this time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. I thank you for joining me as well. Again, I'm Coach Meredith, and this was a 20-minute gentle yoga class. Don't forget that you can log this exercise session in your Noom app as a 20-minute low-intensity yoga class. If you have any questions, just reach out to your coach. Thank you again. Remember, until next time, progress, not perfection.